What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioWash 3 Raw TV. Well, today is Friday the 10th. It's Good Friday today for those of you that are religious. And this Sunday we'll be actually in lockdown for 30 days. It's been a whole month this Sunday, which is pretty amazing that we got here and we're doing as well as we are, to be totally honest with you. I know that, let's fix this fucking camera angle, make that shit square. Let's fix that beard and make that square too. But, you know, a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are doing better than they thought they would. It's kind of all over the board, but we all struggle. At certain points of this, we're all okay. It's like day to day, it changes. Like our attitudes and the way we feel about stuff. We have our ups and downs, and I think that's just normal. But that's not what this video is about. I mean, since this happened, I'd say within the last 2 weeks especially, many of you know my wife, Erin, is a nurse. And nurses in the last couple of weeks, nurses, doctors, firefighters, mostly nurses and doctors specifically, surgeons, doctors, nurses, have become national heroes, or I should say global heroes, worldwide heroes. Now more than ever, people are saying stuff like, you know, well, they're real heroes. They're doing stuff like clapping when they see the new shift coming into the hospital. People that live around there, they go out on their balconies, they clap, they sing, they bang pots and pans. There are people that when they leave their shift, there are people lined up outside the hospital when they leave, clapping when they leave in New York and stuff like that, cheering for them. There's like tears. I mean, it's just amazing to see how many people really appreciate what nurses and doctors and surgeons and stuff are doing right now. And they really totally are heading, you know, my wife's hospital, they do have COVID patients there. You know, they are responsible for taking care of them. So every day when my wife gets up and she walks into that hospital, as soon as she walks through the door, she's exposing herself to that, which exposes me to it, exposes her parents, or whoever else. So she takes that chance of exposing herself that if she tests positive, she'll have to be quarantined away from everybody, including me. So not only is she taking the chance of getting it herself and possibly dying or winding up very ill, but to avoid infecting the family, she would have to avoid us completely. But she still goes to work because those people need help. They need to be saved. And I think it's phenomenal that people are finally giving nurses their due. They're just, you know, they're just due. And the doctors, and it wasn't like that in the past. Not saying that people didn't appreciate them, but you don't appreciate it until you need one. Meaning, you know, when I was in the hospital with pneumonia, I mean, I really didn't like doctors. I didn't like hospitals. I didn't like nurses. I had one nurse when I was in the hospital. She was really on point. She's the one that saved my life. She realized what was going on before all the tests and stuff came back, just based on my blood ox and the fact that, you know, my lips were purple. I mean, she made observations that the other people, like the, you know, people that bring you in the intake didn't notice. Like, she noticed them right away, and she saved my life. Matter of fact, my mom, I remember buying her flowers and stuff and sending them to the hospital saying, if you didn't look at my son and take the time to pay attention, he would have been dead. And that was, you know, a big eye-opener for me back then. But most of our close friends understand what my wife Erin does. And they constantly, and I'm talking about all my close friends, all her close friends, well, most of her close friends are nurses at the actual hospital with her, but my close friends, they absolutely, way before this ever happened, they'd be like, hey, how's Erin doing? Like, oh, she's at work. Oh, how's Erin? They would always ask about her, want to know how she's doing, because they understand the schedule that she keeps, but they also understand that when this COVID thing goes away and everybody, I even saw Tom Brady saying, oh, you know, to all the nurses and doctors out there, everybody right now is focused on the doctors and nurses. My thing is, why did it take this long? Now let me explain. You know, today we have all the stuff going on, that COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it. We have all that stuff going on right now. But on a daily basis, what she does is she gets up and she goes to work, and heart attacks, atrial fibrillation, aortic tears, rips in the heart, dissections, you name it. My wife is elbow deep in people's blood every single day, saving their lives. There are sometimes on a regular day, this is not Corona, on a regular day, she goes in the morning, and when the emergencies start coming in, or the elective cases, or whatever the case may be, there could be one case that they'd be in for 8 to 12 hours. That means no food, no going to the bathroom, no nothing, so just standing there and working on this person. Now, what does she do? What do they do? What does she do? She's a surgery nurse. She's a surgical nurse. She's a cardiovascular operating room registered nurse first assistant. That is not the same thing as when you go to your doctor and the nurse that takes your pulse and it's not the same thing. So when she walks in there and someone's aorta has ripped open or it's dissected, and I mean, you can't even believe the things they do. She'll literally cut someone's leg, fillet their leg open, take a vein, harvest a vein, and those are the veins they use for the bypass that goes over the heart that saves your life when you get a bypass. Sometimes they do one, sometimes they do four, a quadruple bypass. She's the one that will open your leg and harvest that vein, give it to the surgeon, then hold your heart while the surgeon stitches that vein on there and saves your life. They will save your life. Then when it's done, she'll stitch your leg up, close your chest up. She does that. That's what she does on a daily basis. On a daily basis, she sees people in there that come in with emergencies begging, please don't let me die, please don't let me die, please don't let me die, and then they go under anesthesia. And there's a chance they may not come back. She's the last face they see before they go under, and sometimes the first face when they wake up, and sometimes they don't wake up. Now, could you imagine my wife's job is to save that person's life, and their family's sitting in the waiting room waiting during this surgery? What if they don't make it? Their family now has to be told that their loved one that went in there that they were praying for, that they were hoping would be better, and the responsibility falls on the surgeons and my wife to live, to survive, didn't make it. Okay? That could be a part of her day every day. There are pediatric cases where you have little 3-month-olds that have heart problems, holes in their heart. They stitch the holes. I don't know, stitch them. They fix them. Whatever's going on. How do you tell the people in the waiting room that their 3-month-old baby didn't make it? Right? That's part of her job. So, I really didn't understand it. Of course, I used to be my wife's trainer back in the day. And I didn't understand. I understood nurse just like just about everybody else. But living with her and understanding what she goes through and what she comes home to on a daily basis, I hear as much as she can give me without, destroying the HIPAA violation. So I get like the toned down, watered down versions, and it scares the shit out of me, and I'm shocked. It would change my life if the watered down version was happening to me, and she doesn't have the watered down version. She gets the full on thing. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, it took the virus to get people to look at these nurses and doctors and appreciate them because they didn't need them. Now, people need them. The people that go in the hospital every day you don't know about, they need them. And their job is to save their life. When my wife goes into work, she's going to work to save someone's life. That's all there is to it. Without that bypass, with that dissection not being taken care of, with whatever the case may be, if those aren't taken care of, that person dies. Her job is to go save a life every day. And it could be one life, one case. That's 8 hours. It could be 2 cases, 3 cases, 4 cases, a couple hours. It could be a kid, could be an adult, could be... it just, you don't know when you get in there. And of course, complications happen. And it's one of those things where you look at it like the job that they do at her job in Inova, in the cardiovascular, and I only know about the CVR because that's where she works. But the job that they do really is one of the most important things out there to the person that needs that surgery. Right now, we look at it as a whole because everybody's being focused on the hospitals, and every day is a war zone for these people. Every day. COVID goes away, Corona goes away, every day is a war zone. They walk in there, they're covered in blood. Covered in blood. Covered in people's blood sometimes. I don't think you can wrap your head around that. And I've been invited to go watch a surgery of the heart. So she also does heart transplants, where they take someone else's heart, like C.T. Fletcher had done, and they transplant it. She does lung transplants. She'll get on a plane sometimes and fly to go get that heart or go get those lungs. Guess what? Those body parts are going to save someone's life. Like everything she does is about saving lives. It's not about taking a temperature, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need those nurses too. But it's hard to watch right now how everybody has turned these nurses into heroes and these doctors into heroes because they're scared for their own well-being, right? Scared for the coronavirus, and they are like, oh, thank you so much for doing it. Like, they get it, or they get it now. But every day is like the coronavirus for those people. Every day they could be dealing with somebody with tuberculosis, HIV. They do surgeries on people with HIV. Don't let them die just because they have HIV. You're operating on someone with HIV. Finger sticks happen with needles. Accidents happen. Like, there's a possibility that she could get infected with anything that these people have if something goes wrong. And that's what she does on a daily basis. So to me, I really wish that people would understand and remember that when COVID is over, these people don't just go back in their houses and sit there. It's not like they just came out to do this and they're going to go away. These people every day, when your kid's got a broken arm and that shit's all fucked up and they put it back into place and they're fucking talking to the kid and those are the people that are doing the corona stuff right now in the hospitals. Those are the people that are helping the other loved ones. Those are the people that are helping people that otherwise would die. And I think it's very important to realize that this is not, and it's just like everything else. Like when a tragedy happens, people get all upset and the emotions take over and people freak the fuck out. And like a month later, they forget about it. Well, next time you go to a hospital or you see a nurse in her scrubs or a doctor in their scrubs or whatever the case may be, think about it for a second. What was their day like? You know, like I've seen her come home a few times and not be okay. You know what I mean? Because of the things that happen and things that she saw. I've seen it. I've watched it. And I've gotten a quick little, well, this is what happened at work. And I just kind of back off because I'm like, holy shit. If she wants to talk, I'll be there. If she doesn't, I get that too. But this is a daily occurrence for her. And it has been for the last 14 years. 14 years and counting. She gets up now. A lot of people say, well, she gets paid for it. Listen to me. I'll tell you right now. Those nurses and doctors, well, nurses, I don't know about the doctors, but the nurses, they don't get paid what you think they do. They're not rolling in fucking millions. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee any of you sitting there right now say, oh, they get paid for it, they get paid for it, they get paid for it. I would love to see you get paid $100,000 to go in there for a month and do what they do. I guarantee in a week's time, you're fucking out of there. I guarantee for that type of money, $100,000 a month, you wouldn't make it. You have to love this job. You have to have the stomach for it. You have to have testicular fortitude. Okay? You have to have it in you. Or you're not going to be able to do that job. And to do it day after day after day. Do you know how strong a person that takes? You know how tough a person that takes to be able to do that job day after day after day after day? I've sat around with her friends and stuff and listen to them talking. I'm like, man, there's some tough bunch of motherfuckers around here. Plain and simple. And that's real. That's real shit on a daily basis. And it ain't stopping because it's going to happen every day once this thing goes away. So appreciate your nurses, not just now for the COVID. Appreciate your doctors, not just for the COVID, but all the time. Because I'm telling you right now, they're saving someone's life every fucking day. And don't just wait till it's your turn to be saved to give thanks to the people that are out there doing a job that you and I couldn't do. BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStreet.com is the blog. It's the We Can't Do That Shit bicep, and we are out.